What's good, everybody? I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blerd, and welcome to the season 4, episode 3 review of Atlanta. I'm joined with my partner in crime on these reviews with none other than Matt Thomas of Who Are They Entertainment Media. Was good, fam? Did I get the company right? Because I know I feel like I'm fucking up every time.
Real Entertainment, REEL Entertainment.
Nigga, stop adding random things.
It's
to your
been
mother.
that since the beginning.
What I tell you is so hard to find your ass on YouTube. I said, who are they? And I was like, damn, that's a bunch of random ass videos. Okay, Watt Media. Damn, that's just JJ Watt trying to do some shit. Okay, Watt Entertainment Reviews. Nigga, it's none of the things. It took me forever to find your ass so I could put you in the goddamn description of the last one.
Yo, we just go by Watt Real Entertainment just because it shortens it up instead of Who Are They, but yeah.
Where I'm curious before we jump into this, where did Who Are They come from?
So when me and my partner Nick first started doing this, and this goes way back in when we were just strictly audio podcasts. We were interviewing
Nick's the white
homie,
right?
Yeah, 6'5" white.
Okay.
When we first started this, we were doing a lot of interviews with independent filmmakers and independent talent, so that's where the Who Are They came from. And then we're trying to get back into it. COVID, of course, kind of set that back because there's not as much independently being done or made, and the idea is eventually we'll get back into that and go to doing real interviews, because you know how when we had you on for just a normal real talk episode, we interviewed you about your career and whatnot outside of Shimoda. So it was basically that. It was that whole thing.
Okay. All right. I respect it. I was just very curious one way or the other. And it seemed like y'all were actually like good friends. I'm just laughing because I didn't know if you had brought Nick on as like your young white avatar, your YWA, which we're gonna get into that right now. So again, if you haven't already, this is a spoiler alert for episode 3. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and come back. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then come kick it and let's talk it out, man. But yeah, there were 2 really funny storylines here. One with Earn and one with Paperboy, and those are the 2 main of the quadfecta that we focused on.
Yep.
You had Paperboy, who just finishing a tour, gets this rich Jewish man to be like, hey, you're just so cool, like at what you do.
Bro, that wasn't even a tour. He was at a bar mitzvah.
Was that at the bar mitzvah, or he was asking him to? That's right. It was at the bar mitzvah. I thought he was asking him to do it. Yes.
Open up at a bar mitzvah, and this guy was in the crowd of the bar mitzvah.
No. You're exactly right. It's because he talks about later getting off a tour that I'm getting confused. But yes, he comes off the bar mitzvah. The dad's like, yo, can you come and roll with my son and teach him how to do what you do? He's like, rap? He's like, all of it. Like rap, be cool. Like the swagger. You have all of it, you know? And he's like, bro, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to walk around with some random white boy and do whatever. And he goes, I'll give you $1 million. The Paperboy said,
let's be honest. You would do the exact same thing.
I'm going to be honest with you. And part of it has to do with the fact that we have just seen so much of it in shows recently, mainly She-Hulk. I kind of wish Paperboy had broken the 4th wall. He didn't have to say anything to us, but just look directly into the camera and just be like, when they were like $1 million.
Be like, just look me like, you know, I gotta get this bag.
And that's what it is. He decides he has to get the bag. So so we have that storyline. And simultaneously for Earn, he is working at this management company.
Yes, that was my favorite part of the episode. I ain't even gonna lie.
Because the fact that they had the Vox video of this white woman getting canceled. And then she wrote a book called, what was it, like My Mistake or I Learned?
No, she wrote the book before, and the reason they were doing it, so the reason that they were like, all right, we gotta fix this,
was to make sure. I guess what was confusing
because her sales were plummeting because it was a New York Times bestseller, right? And the incident was causing the sales to fall, and they're like, we gotta fix this for her.
So this is where I got confused. So then she wrote a book about race relations, about how she learned how to be a better ally. Then she proceeded to threaten a black person with a gun.
Black child had a
Yeah,
black child.
yeah.
And let's be honest. For those of you who are white and don't know, a lot of times black kids will be running a scheme. I may or may not have done it.
You're talking about the candy bar shit.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
go around
whole.
the neighborhood and sell candy bars.
I'm gonna say go if you want more information about that. Go look up season 3 of the Boondocks. I don't remember the name of it, but it's one where Riley is running a full scheme. I'm gonna figure it out. Hold on.
Yeah.
Boondocks chocolate episode. So it is the fundraiser. That's what it's called. It's called the fundraiser. If you want to see what I'm talking about, because the truth is, the schools that do that, they're scheming just to get extra money and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We did it for show choir. Like,
yeah,
we never had a school fundraiser doing it, but we always had all these separate groups doing it.
Yeah. So it's its own thing. It's definitely, I would say, go look that up. But she holds up this kid with a gun that's doing one of those fundraisers. So then she's getting the full treatment of what's her name in Central Park. We'll just call her Central Park Karen, but the one that like called on the bird watcher, the bird watcher and all that. So she's getting the same thing, and they're like, well, we got to revamp her image and make her look good.
Just
and all these
in the corner.
Yeah, all the white people are like, yeah, what if we do this, what if we do that? And Ern's like, do we have to? And he goes, hey, unless you got a better idea, like, nah, you better figure it out. And he goes, all right, well, I mean, why don't we go like get D'Angelo or something? He's like, D'Angelo. He's like, I could probably get D'Angelo. And he goes, fine, do it then. And I'm literally sitting here thinking to myself, because he starts texting the homie, hey, do you still braid his hair? I was like, that is the most nigga shit, bro.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Hey man, yo.
It was, do you still know D'Angelo's hair braider? That's what the text was.
Yes. And
so of course you have to know the person who knows the person who does the thing.
Everybody has that, but every black person has it on a much worse tip, because sometimes you do have that direct connection. So like, I'm not bragging here, but like my sister's god sister, who was like an older sister to me, essentially, she went to Stanford with Issa Rae. And so Zoe, my little sister, worked on Awkward Black Girl and has a working relationship with Issa Rae as well. So like, I have a 1 degree of separation to Issa. Now, I couldn't call her and be like, hey, can you just get Issa to come do my show? Like, that's not a thing.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Everybody has that whatever. But then you have that situation where, like, I was at my barber a couple years ago, and he goes, hey, man, I heard you be doing comedy and shit. I saw your Vines. So, like, I got a homie that's a homie of a homie who's working on All Def Digital. So, like, if you're trying to do that, I can hook you up. And I'm like, nigga, you better really be able to hook a motherfucker up. And then by the time it was time, there wasn't nothing. He was like, man, it looks like they already filled their shit out. And I was like, nigga, you didn't know nobody. Don't act like you were out here. So either way, that's the two things. We have Paperboy trying to make $1 million by going to talk to this white kid. And then you have Ern deciding to go try and sign D'Angelo. And that's the normal part of the episode. It goes full Atlanta weirdness beyond that point. And it starts off with Paperboy. He goes to the studio session. These white boys are in here making the worst hip hop I have ever heard.
Besides the yodeling. Besides the yodeling. The yodeling was actually...
No, but that's why that was funny, because the yodeling kid in real life is actually good. Like, I give him credit. His shit was actually kind of fire. But the shit here was trash. It was not good, fam. It was all so bad, especially when little Rick Moranis comes in.
Bro, that name killed me. I was like, y'all motherfuckers got someone who looks like they'd be Rick Moranis' kid. You call him little Rick Moranis.
Call him little
Rick Moranis.
But you have Paperboy in here, and the white kid goes, oh, we don't need you, fam. So if you just want to sit there and collect your check, I'm fine. And Paperboy's in here like, are you fucking kidding me? And connects with another black rapper who's there.
Bunk.
And they go, Bunk, that's his name. So him and Bunk go to a different studio, the one that's open. And they're just like smoking weed, drinking and shit, and just kind of talking about it. He's like, hey man, if you really trying to hit that next level, you need to come to me. So at first I'm like, oh, he's about to get this nigga in a multi-level marketing scheme. And when we get to it, he sort of does. But he essentially, he gets introduced to a system. We'll focus on Paperboy for a minute. Of why I brought it up earlier, the YWA, the young white avatar.
Avatar.
And What's so funny about this, bro?
It's so true.
It is insane how true it is because my
Look
thoughts
at Dre.
well, yeah, I guess you could say that about Eminem. I didn't even think about that, but I only because the difference there too is that Eminem was actually good.
True, but it helped
And
extend
like,
Dre's fame.
but it absolutely did. So you got Dre, who kind of feels like the start of that off, but bro, Usher going to find Justin Bieber. You got T.I. went and found him and Iggy Azalea, though that backfired like a motherfucker.
Hey, she's making her comeback.
Is she?
Yeah, she's touring right now. Well, she's the undercard. She's the opener, but she's still touring. I know Pitbull. I think she's touring with Pitbull because I remember I had a friend who was just at the concert when they were in Cleveland, and they are like, and they literally put on their Snapchat story, "Look at that ass shake," and I'm like, "Is that Iggy?"
Oh my lord. Man, oh man. But I digress. It's this idea in hip hop, and that's the stuff that we really talk about in these anyway, or the themes that are going on. And it is the fact that a lot of people, once they get to a certain level, you'll see them do it with other members in hip hop, but they will specifically go with the white ones. And the reason why it's young white avatars is because white kids are gonna have more of a reach to white America because they're gonna be like, oh shit, a white rapper, and they'll check it out. But here's the shit that fucking kills me, fam. When they do that, when Paperboy's like, I don't need no fucking little white boy to like get on, nigga. I just sold out an arena or a stadium, and he goes, "Are you selling out soccer arenas yet, nigga? Because you're not gonna. Because here is the trajectory. You start off from the streets, and you doing the damn thing. Then you kind of
Chief Keef is the
Chief Keef. Then you become the OG. I was like, your second album, you already at OG, and then the third one is you the best friend in the movie, family films, the family films, and they talk about you gonna be Ice Cube's best friend, and Are We There Yet 5 next year, nigga. And I was like, yo, don't do this. But how, like, this is why the show is so good. They're not wrong.
No, they aren't.
Think about it. Literally look at everyone. Bro, when I'm telling you LL Cool J, and now this like ended up doing SWAT, and now this nigga's been on what, NCIS for as long as he has been.
Yeah.
Let's see. Obviously, we talked about Ice Cube already and what he did. Obviously, one of the hardest rappers that ever was.
Here,
and
now
Ice-T, bro. Ice-T on SNL.
I'll make fun of Cleveland for a minute. Diddy with MGK.
I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot he signed. But I meant the rappers going from.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But look, Diddy started doing more TV and movies after that. You had him. The last thing that really came out around the time he was signing MGK was Get Him to the Greek.
I thought the last thing that he did was
I'm just talking about around the time he signed MGK.
No, that's fair. I mean, look, what's funny about that is because like it's a fucking funny music video, and I wouldn't change it. But like the fact that he did the Lonely Island music video with Paul Rudd about do everything that we go kindergarten, I think is the name of the song,
something like that.
But like he's not wrong about the rap shit. If you make it long enough to get out of the game, you transition into that. There are very few that stay in the game like that. Honestly, they transition into the family friendly shit. And dude, having Chief Keef as the babysitter, my guy. I don't know if you watched This Is Us, but I immediately thought of the Manny, and I was like, yo, don't do Chief Keef like that, bro. Oh my god. You don't have anything to say about none of that, nigga? So either way, Paperboy's not sure how he feels about it at first, but then he ultimately goes, okay. So he tries to sign the white kid that he got asked to go mentor, but he's already been signed by Bunk. Bunk went in and swooped that shit up. So he's upset. He was at a high school where this kid was doing this performance, and he was so fucking bad. But this kid is just throwing money, and the girls are eating it up, and all the high school kids are eating it up. So Paperboy decides, fuck it, I'll take the yodeling kid. And it's like, I'll give you a ride, but the yodeling kid has got a drug and alcohol problem.
You forgot why he has to take the yodeling kid.
Well, because he's super sick and he can't get a ride.
No, because Bunk stole the kid from up under him.
I already said that. That Bunk stole the other kid. So then he was like, it's all good.
Info.
he looks at the yodeling kid and he's like, all right, this little white kid. I mean, he's in the studio too. I'll give him a ride home, but he keeps yelling at him, nigga, if you throw up on my car, this nigga's pass it out. And I'm like, this kid is not gonna make it. Like I called that shit, and lo and behold, they get to the Grammy.
I thought he was gonna die in the car, honestly, and then he was gonna have to deal with that.
Well, I'm just laughing because they were talking. They were like, if you do this, not only will you make millions upon millions going forward, this is how you get your Grammy. That's how you do it. And so, lo and behold, then they're at the Grammy ceremony, and Bunk's there with the original white kid that was there. But then here comes Paperboy rolling up. They're like, "Yo, what you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I rep yodeling kid." They're like, "Nigga,
that was you."
His shit came out 10 days ago. He already got nominated for a Grammy. That was you, dog. Like they're just like,
and it already went platinum, like triple platinum already. And you're just like,
that shit was so funny. But then comes the big twist for the rest of Paperboy's story. He goes and he sees the other white. He's like, I don't know where the fuck yodeling kid is. We got to get into the ceremony. He goes, oh, you didn't hear? Yeah, that nigga dead. Like he's gone.
Like, what? He's like, yeah, we went to go pick him up in the car earlier,
and he OD'd, man. He's like Tupac dead or like dead.
And he's like, yeah, it's all over my feed, and he shows him. He's like, yeah, he's definitely winning that Grammy though,
bro. And then he did, which is fucking hilarious.
Wait, but the song title, "Born to Die Young."
Yeah,
I was like,
oh my god.
I was like,
oh my god. It was so fucking funny. So that's the Paperboy side of things. Yeah. On the flip side, you got Earn, and we talked about it. He's on the quest to find D'Angelo. He gets the hookup. He gets told to go to this place. He goes in.
That was a rallies.
Yeah, he went to a rally in Georgia. He said rallies in Georgia? Like he got mad confused by that shit, but he goes in. The dude looks sitting there.
Don't forget the small, intricate details. He goes to where the bathrooms would be. There's a woman's room, and then there's a room that says D'Angelo.
I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that.
So you're like, it's and then he opens the door, and it's this giant open space. Yeah, I was like, are we getting a Men in Black thing? And it's just giant open space.
Fucking Black, bro, where he had the guard that just sits there reading the paper. So he's like, you want to see D'Angelo? You gotta chill, you gotta wait. And he's like waiting, and we keep coming back to Earn throughout the episode. And it's been up to a week now. And this nigga
he ends up saying 4 days. We got a confirmation of how much.
4 days. No. He said a week. He said he didn't shower for 4 days.
He said, okay. I thought he said all week, not a week.
He didn't shower for 4 days, but he was there for a week. At one point, he goes, my nigga, do you have water? Like, I'm fucking dying. When he opens the fridge and it's Dasani, he goes,
it's not even a fridge. Bullshit. It's not even a fridge. It's a cabinet.
But the fact that it's Dasani, my guy.
Bruh, because Dasani's just fucking salt water.
I felt that in my soul because a lot of people are getting on game now and they're realizing that Dasani, owned by Coke,
it's just salt water.
They put salt in the water so you get more thirsty and you drink more. And so it doesn't actually quench your thirst. It makes shit worse. So, like, he goes, man, you all fucking up. Like, you got to do better, man. I've been waiting here. I need to see motherfucking D'Angelo. He snatches the fucking, he was reading, like, the Jet magazine looking little books or whatever the fuck. And then all of a sudden, Earn, having broken from not showering, not eating, not having no water, goes, I am D'Angelo. We are D'Angelo. This is D'Angelo. And he goes, all right, nigga. And he opens it for him and he crawls into this really dark.
And the fact that the entrance is in the wall.
Yeah.
Yes, the turnkey and concrete wall. Open a door for a shaft that Earn has to crawl through. It's a crawl space.
It's a crawl space, bro. And you get there and you get this dude. And for a minute, I was like, did D'Angelo just get fat? Like, and so like his face looks a little, because his face is a little fuller and he had the braids. And I was like, that's not him. But D'Angelo was playing in the background. This nigga's singing along and he actually sounds pretty similar to D'Angelo's cadence. But then he starts talking about it and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, no, I need to sign D'Angelo. Like, I can't go back without signing it. And he just gets this, like, do you remember the talk that this faux D'Angelo had with him?
It was somewhere along the line of this is just I think just like we had the black kid be Justin Bieber in season 1, this is actually supposed to be D'Angelo.
Right.
It was along the lines of,
I forgot about the Justin Bieber episode. Holy shit.
So whenever we have a musical artist that isn't the actual artist,
But
I
this
tend
isn't
to be
no. This I'll tell you this isn't him
yeah.
because remember at the end he goes, "Wait, nigga, you were serious about it? Do I actually sound good? Are you really trying to sign me?" He goes, "Oh, no, you sound good, but no, I ain't trying to sign you, dog."
Okay.
And the homie's just looking sad as fuck. But I forgot this nigga was making a fried chicken skin sandwich with
Yep.
peanut butter.
Oh, bro.
Um, but he's sitting here and they have like this real philosophical talk about it, and Ern starts to piece together, kind of what's going on, and he just like kind of lets the shit go. And long story short, he ends up then meeting up with Paperboy,
At the
and we see
Grammys,
Darius at the Grammys, and we see Darius for a minute, but all of a sudden you see Paperboy be like, "Man, I don't think I could be doing this." I don't think I've been doing this managing thing, man. That shit's for the birds. I ain't doing that. And Ern's
yeah,
just like, nigga, you just thought you could do my job? Like
yeah.
you thought this shit was
And then
easy.
he's like, yeah, I don't do it to make me happy. It's just something along the lines of it's just on to the next one. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
damn, like
But so this is the thing that I forgot. So the man who's in there says that D'Angelo is not a real person, but a group of people around the world
yes,
facilitating his image.
that's what it
That was
was.
the confusing part. And so that he even says to him, he helps Ern understand like as far as his recruiting dream. But then he asks Ern about getting recruited,
Yeah,
and Ern's like, "No, I'm not signing you, nigga." But it also, as you can see, we're moving closer and closer to Ern because like he's still in Georgia, and I know that because he said the rallies in Georgia thing.
yeah,
I think it's pushing him closer and closer to actually leaving to go to LA. I
yeah.
think it's been made very clear that's what's going to happen by the end of this.
And I think I honestly think I think Paperboy is gonna go with him.
Maybe it's very possible that we see just a split of the group, and that's Ernst.
And see, that's why I felt like I need a Darius heavy episode. Like that's what I need, a Darius
Coming.
heavy episode.
But that's the thing. We have gotten since season one, we have gotten everybody kind of gets theirs
Yeah,
episode at some point or another. Because again, the band episode that was a very heavy Paperboy episode. So was
yes,
the bit, which I'm realizing most of the Paperboy heavy episodes are actually some of the funniest by like
yeah, and that's
far.
always him getting fucked over too.
And it's I think it's because he ends up being the straight man even more so than the rest.
Yeah,
And partly because he is so hard with everything. So when he gets fucked over by shit, it's that much funnier because he's just like, I will kill everybody in this bitch if you don't leave me the fuck alone. So the band episode fucking killed me. The Bibby episode fucking killed
the
me.
Bibby episode's still one of my favorites.
It might be my favorite, honestly. The band episode held number one for a while, but that Bibby episode, every time I watch it, I fucking die laughing, bro. But either way, they kind of wrap that up. And so seeing both of those, man, what are your just thoughts about the stuff going on? And really, like again, we talked about how hip hop has kind of evolved and it really has become pop music at this point. So this idea of the
Hey,
young white avatar is a real deal.
you want to know what I used it as? It's the reverse of what happened in the past, where white men would use black men and or black artists and their talents, and now we're
Mm.
at the point where we're able to flip the script and do that ourselves.
No, that is a very, very solid point, man. That is a very, very solid point. That I didn't even really think about that in that regard. I was thinking about it more in terms of specifically just the fact that
Yeah,
it has happened for a while. I
yeah,
think it's because it was a situation where you'll still see artists now. Like think about the fact that like what Pharrell signed like Khalees, who did
yeah,
Milkshake, for example. Um the fact that like you will see artists sign other artists and they'll go like if they're the starting point, they'll go from being just that artist that broke out to being the mogul.
yeah.
Um Obviously Master P, Diddy, Dre, you know what I mean? Like this is something that has happened on the regular, but you're right. I didn't think about the angle, man. This almost feels like an Elvis type situation, but instead of white
Mm-hmm.
execs, it's black rappers that were at the top of the food chain, man. Um but I think there's also something to be said about what was going on with Earn And with the D'Angelo, I mean, we already talked about how everybody feels like they got that 2 degrees of separation. They get a nigga to hook somebody up with something. But there is something to be said about things like D'Angelo, like an artist like D'Angelo or anybody, Beyonce even. You could plug Beyonce into there. Obviously, she's a real person and we've seen her. But Beyonce is who she is because of what she has cultivated in the community.
Yep.
Rihanna is who she is because of what she has cultivated in the community. Same thing with any major artist. Drake, for example, Drake is a great one. So was Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. It's they transcend being just a musical act and they become just us. We are them. And so that's kind of what I took away from this episode that I thought was just so fucking interesting was to see where their minds go or where the writers' minds go and what mirror they're trying to hold up to society, especially to black culture, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, man, what would you do seeing all that? What would you give this episode, bro?
I'm giving this one a 9. So far, we got a 9 and a 9.5. No, what I give it a.
I was doing that a 5, but
yeah,
you can do
so
that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Reverse that. So I put this at a 4.5. I think I put episode 2. I think I made episode 2 a 10.
You said that was the 5. You gave that a 5. Yeah.
So this is probably out of the 3 we've gotten. This is without a doubt my second favorite episode.
No, respect. I think I'd probably go 2, 1, 3, and it's not that I don't like that. No pun intended. And it's not even that I didn't like this episode. I love this episode. I would definitely give this one probably about. I give it like a 4, 4.5, something in that range. If I gotta nail it down, I'll give it a 4. Theme wise, maybe some of the best stuff we've seen this season so far. But just I was so uppercutted by episode 2.
Yeah, I'm so proud of that because you even questioning me. You question,
bro. I got so uppercutted by that shit. I just wasn't ready. I genuinely wasn't ready. And like, goddamn. So I opened up the just the episode list, and it doesn't have all the breakdowns. But I'm just thinking about some of these fucking episodes, bro. Like, obviously the band episode, the club episode with the fucking invisible car. Yeah. Oh,
I think the invisible car is supposed to come back this season. That's what some of the well, no, because some of the promotion that they've done for the show included the invisible car. So I'm like, does that mean we get the invisible car back this year? Please tell me we get the invisible car back.
That would be great. But the strip club episode, bro, where everybody is, because Robin season, the whole season is about robbing people of something, whether it's their money, their time, their dignity, whatever. It is all about robbing people of something. Champagne Poppy is up there for me. The Zazie episode where she's with the girls thinking they're gonna meet fucking Drake, and it's just it's literally women
at his house
with a cardboard cutout being charged $200 a pop for this shit. And the one girl that like lied to get on the list, and they throw her out, and she is screaming and crying at the top of her lungs. But again, it's a culture thing. It is putting the mirror on the culture and what's going on with us and all that stuff, and it's just absolutely fucking hysterical, man. So either way, y'all, we want to know what you think. Tell us what you're feeling about so far about season 4, the themes that are being introduced, the storylines, if you're liking them, if you're laughing at this and whatnot. And then other than that, man, come back and see us, bro. We're going to do this for the entirety of the season. There is a total of 10 episodes for the season, so we got a few more of these to go. And this will be the same time. This will be Saturday mornings. They might be Friday afternoons. It depends. But they're really going to probably live Saturday mornings just because obviously we both got jobs. So we got to find the time to like come together and record this and then edit a little bit and throw it up there. So come back Saturday morning, check it out. That'll give you some time to watch the episode yourself. And be sure if you haven't already subscribed to this channel. I got these reviews going and whatnot on here. Got some comedy coming up. We got to shoot in a couple of weeks, actually. And then please follow me all over the place, man. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I got a lot of TikTok comedy and motivational stuff over there as well.
I know you got a review. We both have reviews coming out next Thursday, right?
For
Focus.
Yeah, for Hocus Pocus. Yep, Hocus Pocus 2 will probably that'll be dropping and whatnot, so you don't want to miss that. Oh, and then you can also follow me over the Christian Harloff channel. I do Capes and Cows. We had a really good discussion this week, or today, I guess it was recorded yesterday, but about people's inability to have just discourse, and because of the internet, specifically because of social media. So it's like, I have no problem with somebody giving me an opposite opinion about something if you can
It's just how it's
articulate
presented.
why. If you can articulate why, and not just
Yeah.
it sucks, it's fucking stupid.
That's what I mean by how it's presented. Like, as long as you're able to back it up with.
And that's the thing. If you can't back it up, and you also can't respect the fact that, because art again is subjective.
Yeah.
So if you cannot also acknowledge the fact that what you think is stupid, someone might find absolutely brilliant. Because we were having to talk about.
Yeah, I was about to bring that
Honk
up.
for Jesus. I think Honk for Jesus is
Save Your
brilliant.
Soul. I think it has
thought that
brilliant
was
performances and is a subpar script. That's just me.
I will agree with you that the script can be better, but I think all the beats that I would want to hit following a disgraced pastor and first lady, it was spot on for me.
It hit the beats. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. I was like, it's fine.
Nah, dude, it's one of my top 5s of the year. It's not now. Hear me out. Hear me out. As far as made movie, no. There are much better made movies that have come out this year. But as far as like a movie that is going to stick to my ribs and I'm going to remember, I would probably give it like a 3 out of 5. But like, that movie stuck to my ribs. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that regard. But it's all good. Don't even worry about all that. I'm glad you joined us here. Matt, tell them where they can find you, bro.
Watt Real Entertainment on YouTube. Watt Movies _Matt on Twitter. I do post my reviews and are just, I don't do the little short video reactions out of the theater for embargo drops because I'm afraid of nobody in Cleveland does that, and I'm afraid of getting my press access being taken away. So just find my quick little blurbs on Twitter on my initial social media.
Why would they take your shit away?
Bruh, it's just one of those things of, I'm in a smaller market. Nobody out here does that. I ain't taking my risks. Y'all in that larger market, a lot of people do it. Just,
I mean,
play safe.
So I was gonna say the way to do it, and we can always talk about this off air because I know people want to fucking go. Just you just don't say anything of substance. Yeah, that's all you have to do.
But I gotta ask you, because this is related to Atlanta a little bit, and have you top movies of the year? Have you watched Emergency on Amazon yet?
Emergency?
Yeah, Emergency. Nigga, I just gave you some homework. All right.
Nigga, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have no goddamn homework. All right, y'all. Real talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, throw a like, and leave a comment. Again, let us know what you think about this episode and what you are thinking about at this final season of Atlanta. But with that, y'all, we going to get the F up out of here. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. Peace.